Space Watchers, I'm Emma, the editor-in-chief of SpaceWatch.Global, and this is a new episode of Space Cafè Radio, your radio channel dedicated to emerging trends and live conferences in the space sector. Hello, Space Watchers, and welcome back to a new episode of Space Cafè Radio. We have the pleasure here to be with Takeshi Hakamada, the founder and CEO of ispace. Takeshi, how are you doing?
Good. Yes, thank you very much for having me.
It's a pleasure for us to be here together, and we have the luck to be here with Takeshi just one day after the breaking news of the announcement from NASA, from the President of the United States, that has announced that Japan will be the first country to send non-Americans to the moon. Takeshi, how do you feel about this?
It's huge news to Japanese people and also, I think, for the U.S. as well. U.S.-Japan has been great partnership long time, and in this time I feel two countries enter the new era of the partnership, especially this lunar exploration collaboration partnership is big things. As you mentioned, Japan become the first astronaut after US, and also two of the Japanese astronauts may land on the moon. That is a great step forward for Japan to continue the lunar exploration.
Absolutely. And as I say, an incredible symbol about the alliance between the US and Japan, something that we already know that it was going on, but this is a confirmation about the collaboration, the ongoing collaboration between the two countries. Maybe we can speak a bit more, Takeshi, about Mission 2. I know that is coming soon. Can you explain us the timing, when you're planning to land, what it's about?
Sure. Mission 2 we are scheduled to launch winter this year from October to December this year. And Mission 2, we're going to utilize the same lander we used for the Mission 1 last year. And through the Mission 1 experience, we verified our hardware perfectly worked in the space and entered the lunar orbit. Mm-hmm. And the things we faced last time was the challenge just a last moment of the lunar surface. And we know that concretely what it challenges at the time, and we know how to solve the issue, challenges in the past. We are pretty much ready for the next Mission 2 in this winter.
And if you can give me an overview about the goals of Mission 2, what are you hoping to achieve? What are the highest goals?
Yes. Mission 1 was designed to verify the landing capability on the lunar surface. However, Mission 2, the differentiation from the Mission 1 is not only just a landing on the moon. We're going to do the exploration on the lunar surface using our micro rovers developed by the Luxembourg entity. And then this is going to be we'll enter the new phase by exploring the lunar surface. It's going to be technology demonstration for the future, our missions to explore the water resources or whatever the scientific exploration for the future.
And this is very interesting, Takeshi, because we see in ispace, for example, a shifting from scientific mission to commercial mission. And you mentioned exploration of the moon, and I suppose, can you correct me if I'm wrong, when you say exploration of the moon, you're thinking about exploration for lunar resources, such as lunar water. Anything else in particular besides the water that you're searching?
Well, many elements will be interested on the lunar surface right now. Even though Apollo mission landed on the moon 50 years ago, but it's very limited duration and then limited Earth landing site. Mm-hmm. So we believe that scientists are more interested to explore many parts of the moon and then find the new scientific finding. And then we can support the rover capability to obtain more data from the lunar surface. But our primary interest is water because it's going to be the turnkey element to create economy from the moon.
Course. And we know that last year there was been a failed attempt, fourthly, from M1. Landing on the moon is not easy, so there is absolutely no shame in that. We know that we saw many other failed attempts after that from other countries, but I was wondering if you can point out at me the main difference that M2 has to correct what went wrong with M1.
Mm-hmm. The one of the big learning from the Mission 1 is software development. especially the guidance navigation control system during the landing phase. And at the time of the mission 1, the software on board on our lander misjudged the altitude measurement from the sensor. And that's why we couldn't land on the moon at the end. However, because the root of cause of that issue has been identified very clearly, and then we have already considered how we can prevent such things again in the next time. And then we have been implementing many different, measurement to prevent these similar issues. And then also not only just issue, but other potential issues as well. And then so we try to become more perfect for the landing next time.
And if we look at the future, I know that after M2, there's going to be M3. Mm-hmm. So what's the next step? When are you planning to launch M3 and what are you planning to achieve with that one?
Mission 1, Mission 2 has been conducted by the Japanese entity as a part of the Hakuto program. But Mission 3 is we called Apex 1.0 lander, has been developed in United States by the US entity. And this lander is designed to accommodate more payload and deliver to the moon. And then currently in our design, we can accommodate up to 300 kilograms of the payload, surface payload on that lander. Compared to Mission 2, it's only 30 kilograms in maximum. So it's a big step toward the more commercialized lander. And Mission 3 is particularly, we have customers from NASA, Commercial Lunar Payload Service. And then we're going to deliver 3 scientific payloads through NASA to the south pole of the moon and a little bit far side of the moon. In order to land on this far side of the moon, we need to establish a communication capability between the Earth and the far side because we cannot expect direct communication from the lander to the Earth. So we're going to deploy 2 of the small satellites to establish communication relay capability. So this is going to be a very interesting step to create the sustainable communication system, not only Mission 3, but also the future missions as well.
And it's also very interesting, also a sign of how time have been changing, and now a private company from Japan is delivering a commercial payload for NASA. This 30 years ago would have never been heard of. It's a new world, and of course, it's shifting a lot of responsibilities, of course, on the commercial side, because you're actually taking care of a government agency instruments. Last question, Takeshi. We follow closely the geopolitical choices of Japan when it comes to space policy, space strategy. We know that Japan, together with Luxembourg and the US, is one of the most advanced countries when it comes to understanding how to create a regulatory frame for space resources. And in fact, I don't think it's a case that ispace is based also in Luxembourg and in the US. Can you tell us a bit more how ispace is building a regulatory framework together with the Japanese government to understand how to approach lunar resources, mining, and commercialization of lunar water, for example?
I believe that lunar exploration, lunar development required international partnership collaboration, not only government level, but also the industry level. Even though we are headquartered in Japan, but we have subsidiary, a different entity in United States and also the Luxembourg. And each of the entity can contribute each of the regional ecosystem, industry and the government. And that is, we believe, important, having the independent entity, and then independently they contribute to each of the regions. Because still government is a major player in each of the market. And however, we want to have the mechanism to promote more collaboration between the regions. Mm-hmm. And so we have holdings functions to maximize each of the entities' capability into one integrated enforced capability. And this is not only single commercial company, but also we want to extend this capability to facilitate more international collaboration among the countries and any other companies as well. So speaking of the space resource utilization, as currently 4 countries has independent resource utilization legal framework in each countries. However, we require international treaty or the soft law to protect commercial trade or activities using space resources. And then Ultimate Accord is leading such an initiative, I think. However, I believe still this is government level effort. If in case we realize that space resource utilization, commercial company need to involve more because the outer space law cannot permit sovereign countries own the asset in space.
Mm-hmm. It can get tricky, isn't it, if everyone wants to own a piece of the moon?
So even the government-to-government collaboration or the framework is important. However, we need to make sure commercial company also involved and then maximize our incentive to involve and then grow the space resource utilization market.
It's all about investment at this stage, isn't it? Takeshi, very last question. Mm-hmm. Sorry, I just had another question that emerged from my head. You spoke about international collaboration. You are also neighbor with a interesting country, which is China, which is the second major spacefaring country at the moment. How is the collaboration between iSpace and Chinese realities? Is there a collaboration or is it a bit more complicated?
Let's say complicated, more complicated. As a geographical, we're close to each other. However, considering the national security situation, it's very complicated situation. And then we see that, Chinese government very key on the space development and including the lunar exploration. And that create a great, in the space industry, attract more investment or the activities. So in general, it's great. However, as I said, complicated situation.
Do you think that Japan, for its peculiar position, it's a democracy, but is near a country like China, which is not a democracy and is ally of the US? Do you think in the future, can you envision a future in which Japan could be an interesting link between these two realities, between the realities of Artemis, which you are already part of course, and the reality like the ILRS, the Lunar Research Program, the Chinese one?
I cannot tell the future. However, as a company, as iSpace, as I said earlier, international partnership collaboration is important for the lunar exploration development in the future. And then Japan, even though we are very close to the as a country to United States, however, I believe that Japan is very unique positioning.
Absolutely,
we can still keep the relationship with many other countries very friendly, respected way. So we can be, we can bring the balance to the international collaboration. That is my hope.
Absolutely. You don't want to fight with your neighbors like us with the German and the French, isn't it? Takeshi, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure. I'm really pleased that we had the chance to interview you immediately after the announcement of the Japanese astronauts. I wish you a fantastic continuation of the Space Symposium, and I hope that we will have good news from M2. And please, if M2 lands, we really want to have an exclusive interview with you, okay?
Yeah, thank you very much. Mission 2 is coming, and then we are ready to provide more information in the future.
Fantastic. Good luck with that. I'm looking forward. And this is it from our new Space Café, and a goodbye from Colorado Springs. Space Watch out. If you want to keep the pulse of the space industry, please visit our website at www.SpaceWatch.Global. Subscribe to our newsletters, and of course, don't forget to become a space watcher. I'm Emma Gatti, Editor-in-Chief of SpaceWatch Global, your independent perspective on space. See you next time. Ciao.